Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. I thank Mr. Sandeep for the opportunity to be here. Let's say my last visit in India was probably almost 10 years ago, so I'm really happy to be back to a country I love, where I have a lot of friends, and I think it's going to be a good way to be back here with this speech. Today, I'm sharing with you some techniques, helpful techniques that I learned working together with fashion brands, with chemical companies, also brands designer, and production companies. I believe the industry in this period of time is living a transition period of time. A transition between, let's say, from old techniques, the old techniques that makes the industry become one of the most polluting in the world, to new, less impacting techniques, more smart. And I think this is something brands are, let's say, asking to production a lot recently. And I believe there are technologies and chemistry nowadays that are able to help production to achieve those targets that brands request. It is challenging, but I'm sure. So let's think about the fabric right now are in use in the productions. Fabric now have new blends. Let's consider, for instance, cotton hemp, cotton linen, made with organic cotton, recycled cotton. All these new blends, or at least some of them, they need special care because they cannot resist or stand for very long processing. They cannot resist to stressful processes and also hazardous chemicals. So what I'm doing today, I'm sharing with you some techniques that helps to avoid issues in that sense as well. It's one part of the things I'm going to talk today. So let's go straight to the point and show what is the brand's focus, at least some of them. You know, I have only half an hour, so I will not, I cannot be so long in many concepts, but let's see some of the main focus of the brands. The first one is price, of course. Price, brands, they are, most of them, not ready to pay much more for also the new techniques like that, despite, let's say, green chemistry technology needs investment. But let's also talk about what are techniques to get the best out of this technology in order to not have extra costs. Low impact. Low impact is one of the main requests of brands. They are pretending to avoid certain hazard of chemical in production. They are forcing to not use, for instance, polystyrene. So how we can achieve that request or fulfill that request in a new way or in some new techniques. Aesthetic is important because despite brands ask for more sustainability, more sustainable products, but you can do also the most sustainable let's say, product or garment in the world, but if it looks ugly, nobody will buy it. So it's very important to not compromise aesthetic when we do all our processes. So I'll show you some tips and hints to get a good aesthetic. Less issues. Issues is very important because issues lead to extra cost, extra time. Also, production can lose trust from their buyers. So it's better to avoid as much as possible issues. So let's talk about what we can do, what are the good practices to avoid these issues. Let's start a source for, let's say, a denim in this case. So we start from the rinse wash. Rinse wash is one of the style and look best-selling for fabric, for brands, sorry. So brands, for my experience, they are selling lots of this style. So simple rinse wash, dark wash, like that. It looks to be simple process, but is hiding some issues and some tricks as well. So these are the requests, or some of the requests brands are asking. No abrasion, for instance. So dark look, washed, but no abrasion on it. Soft hand feel, of course, because it should not like, for the final user, should not like wearing something rigid, but should be comfortable, but still having a sort of rigid look. Good crocking fastness. This is one of the issues you may have that. So the fastness should be very good, despite it's still a lot of indigo is on the garments. Raw look is also another kind of request of brands. And no cast alteration. So whatever you do to get all those previous points should not alter the cast. So, and also depends on the cast that the buyers wants, the brands wants. So now let's go and see what are some of the techniques that may help in this sense. So for instance, one thing it should be to do a first rinse on the wash, on the garments with some anti-back stainings in order to remove some exceeded quantity of indigo the first time, and also prepare the fabric for the next step that should be the application of an indigo fixer. So now chemical companies have many indigo fixator, and there are also the new generation of indigo fixator that are very, very effective. Low RPM, let's say, helps to don't get too much abrasions because garments should not bleed too much. And some may add also acrylic resin in this step to make a more raw look and fix and improve the crocking. But it's something that I would avoid because acrylic resin, first of all, they change the hand feel. It makes the hand feel a little bit more stiff and may also change the cast to a grayish cast. You can use it, but I suggest a very little amount on that. You can combine also in order to shorten the process together with softeners. Could be silicone, but also I suggest to use very little because silicone tend to give a bluish cast and also a little bit of back staining. One way to make also this application of indigo fixer would be also to stop the machine while you apply. So maybe do 1 minute rotation, then stop the machine. That could also simulate the soaking kind of application of the products, and also in the same time reduce the abrasion that you may get. So this is also nice. So 1 minute rotation, 1 minute stop, 1 minute rotation, so for 4 or 5 minutes. After that, you do extraction and you dry. At this point, thanks to this indigo fixator, I'm working for Soko, and also we have also a new generation indigo fixer that helped a lot. You already get a nice crocking results, improving of 1.5 of crocking. Then, one thing I suggest, but I don't know if it is possible, is to do also curing after, because curing will make an extra half point better crocking. So this is something I suggest for this particular kind of wash that is very simple, but of course it's better to do in a proper way. Then stone bleach. Stone bleach, it's where the character of the fabric comes out the most, and is also the more aggressive part of the washing, let's say, because we have to fade the denim, the indigo. We should create all the salt and pepper effect, all the let's say, abrasions and high and lows. So the request of brands, most of them, is no pumice stones, no hazardous chemicals, no fabric strength issue, less water consumption. These are the main points that brands are asking. So how you can achieve a look like that without all these kind of things? There are new techniques, also new processes that I develop in my experience also with the chemical company I work with. No pumice stone is something that is really prominent right now. Many people doesn't want, many brands doesn't want to use it. And of course, it's an effect that is difficult to match without them, because the nice salt and pepper we used to see, it comes mostly for this kind of physical abrasion of pumice stones. No hazardous chemical as well, so hazardous chemical could be the potassium permanganate, hypochlorite, or some alternatives. No fabric strength issue. As I told you, this is the most stressful part of the washing. So fabric should be strong enough to afford this kind of process. And less water consumption, of course, try to reduce the water as much as possible. There are some solutions that are sort of all-in-one products that with the same bath of water, you can apply different things and make the process without using too much water. But personally, in the last 6 years, I believe that there is one technology that, in my opinion, is really revolutionary and we can get very good results. It is ozone technology. The ozone technology, I think, when I started developing this, try to find a way to take advantage of this technology 6 years ago, people and production, they were maybe using 10 or 20% of the potential of the technology. While I think it still have a lot of work to do to get out the best out of this technology. So in the last 6 years, and also thanks to the work of the Soko staff and the Soko company, we were able to create a product able to achieve exactly the same request of the brands, so that kind of stone bleach look, and also without all these hazardous chemicals. This product is called Lumia, but let's show also what are the main characteristics of this product. It's activated by ozone. It's a product that, and I'm proud of it because it's working in ozone in dry condition. Because what I know is that in the past, whenever we talk about bleaching with ozone, we were always doing a practice to wet garments, to wet the garments to put in the ozone, because water is boosting the ozone. But the humidity content in the garment may change lot by lot. So it's a practice very difficult to control. While if we work in dry condition, all garments are in the same situation, and so it's much easier to be consistent in production. So we get the same result lot by lot. So this is a very important thing. It's not an ozone booster, but it's a product that gets activated with ozone, creating, and is, let's say, the performance of the ozone is impressive, impressively high. It's not an oxidizing agent, and it's not acid as well. This is very important because normally the conventional way to bleach down require oxidizing agent. Could be hypochlorite, could be potassium, could be alternative of potassium as well. But those kind of products need a neutralization straight away. Otherwise, it keep on working on your fabric, weakening your fabric, and also the shade, it will be difficult to control. So this product, once it's applied on the garments, is not reacting with the fabric. So you can leave it on the garment for a long time, for hours, for days, for weeks, for months. Nothing happened to your fabric. So it's much more controllable. Let's say it's a completely new way to wash. In my opinion, it's revolutionary, because what is really revolutionary is when you stop following the street, let's say everybody's following, but create a new path never traveled before. So something completely new. And this is something completely new. Of course, it doesn't need heating to react. This is another way to have a better control, because if you have a chemical that needs heat to react, you don't know exactly how to control the temperature every time. You may have shading according to the temperature of your tumble dryer, of the oven. Room temperature as well may start reacting. So this has nothing to do with temperature. So it's very easy to control. The good thing is that, let's say, the revolutionary thing is that when you apply these products, and you can apply also in tumbler dryer by towels, so it's not affecting your washing process or the timing. When you put a dry garment with this product on it, and you put in the ozone in dry condition, you see the garment exactly like this, from dark shade turning by tumbling to a lighter shade with all the character and salt and pepper effect. This is something really never seen before, because normally when you have to get something like that, you need water, you need an oxidizing agent. It's a long process. While this one is a process that also is more gentle on the fabric, because normally you need a lot of water. The garment is doing a very long process with pumice stone, with bleach. In water, garment is heavy because it's soaked in water, and there is more tearing, more action. In this case, the garments are floating. The application is in the dryer, so it's more gentle, and the reaction is still in dry condition in the zone, so still very gentle for the fabric. So the tear strength of the fabric is 30% stronger than in a conventional way, because there is less stress to fabric. And this is something I said at the beginning. Now the new blends of fabric are more delicate. They they don't stand to a very aggressive process or stressful. So we have to give less stress to the fabric, but getting the results that brands want. And this is one of the things. The good things of this product is that work on the same way on blue denim, black denim, and also reactive or direct dye. Same single product, same application, different effect. You know better than me, for each kind of garments, you need a group of chemical. For blue, you need a group of chemical made by hypochlorite, potassium permanganate, pumice stone. That is not a chemical, but is a tool. But anyway, it's all these kind of things for blue. Then for black, you need another group of chemical, caustic soda, peroxide, detergent. And for reactive or direct dye, to get this nice vintage effect, normally you need a specific selection of dye stuff, a mordant that is not finished. It's a very long process. Then after that, you have to do stone wash to get the high and low. It's very long and also stressing for the fabric. With this product that is called Lumia, you can get this vintage look in just ozone, without doing extra step of abrasion. You already get that kind of abrasion right after the ozone. What you do after ozone is just a normal neutralization of ozone, and the garment is done. So the process is much shorter. So I would say it's one product that is replacing many others. This is a good message also for brands, because if you say to brands, listen, I do my production cutting and reducing a lot my stock chemicals because I use only one for most of the processes. This is something that I believe, in my experience, is one of the achievements that I'm more proud of, and I have to thank Soko for that, to create this product. Now, let's go to the final steps, where at the end we finalized the garments. So final step, of course, are important, a proper neutralization. Because whenever you do an oxidation, that could be bleach, it could be potassium, it could be even ozone as well, if there are still residual of this oxidizing agent, even after the neutralization in your garment, those residual may lead to yellowing, get some yellowing, that you can get it maybe not straight away, but after a week or after a month, you can get it. So in order to avoid that, there are products that helps to do a proper neutralization, and something that I always suggest. Better to spend 10 minutes more in the process than having issue later with your buyers and brands as well. Then another, it's, let's say, killing is a bad word, but anyway, killing the backstaining. It's important because at the end, the backstaining, we all know, makes the garment looking cheap. So having a nice, clean garment is always more rich, looks more rich, and makes also the brands happier. There are products like, for instance, I suggest, there is one way many companies are using to remove the backstaining, and normally they do ozone after they wash. But this is, but then they don't neutralize ozone. They just apply ozone at the end, they clean it, they put in the dryer to kill the smell, and they sell it. This is something I personally don't like, I don't suggest, because you are selling some product that still have ozone on it, and that may lead to yellowing as well. So better to do something inside the washing, because, for instance, there is a chemicals that is quite common called peroxidase, and these products is able to clean. It's doing the same job ozone is doing, so it's cleaning everything, remove backstaining from the pocket, exalting all the contrast, and you do just right before the softening, so it will clean your garment as well. Of course, the process I told you before of the ozone with a product called Lumia is already cleaning a lot, and maybe you don't need this step. But if you don't have ozone and you want to do a cleaning of backstaining, peroxidase is something that, in my opinion, is helping a lot. Also, you avoid all the handling you have if you want to do the ozone step at the end, because after the drying, you have to bring the garment, put in the dryer, put in the ozone machines, then bring it from the ozone machine, put it in the dryer. So many handling and this extra cost. So let's do it in the same wash you are doing the garments without doing extra steps. Another point is adjust the case and shade. So you are at the end of the process, you see your shade, you see maybe it's not matching exactly what the brand is looking for, so you can adjust it. You can use some nice detergent that are doing to they are turning the cast to a nice blue, like a domestic wash blue cast. That's very nice, and cleaning the garment as well. Or you can go to grayish cast if the customer wants gray cast, using the same peroxidase, for instance. Then final, the requested hand fill. I mean, hand fill is very important for brands. It's something that everybody, when you see a designer and you show garment to designer, the first thing designer do, they are touching the garment. So at the end, the hand fill is very important. Some of the techniques I found interesting for that, it depends what is the requested hand fill. If it has to be droppy, very soft, it can be useful to mix silicone and cationic softener together with some rubber balls as well. Our rubber balls are helping to push the softener inside the fiber, but at the same time, they are just beating the garments, the garments, and then you get a more droppy effect. Also, for instance, the opposite, if you need more body, you need to give more body to your garments, would be interesting to mix the softener together with some vinylic resin, for instance, or polyvinylic resin. That will help to give more body to your garments. For instance, some customer may ask for a pitchy kind of hand fill, so a little bit hairy with soft. That, for instance, one of the techniques is to put inside the washing machine some Scotch-Brite, the same Scotch-Brite you have in the sponge. And those kind of Scotch-Brite are also helping to rise a little bit the hair, and with softening giving this pitchy kind of, like the pitch skin effect on the softener. So these are, let's say, all the, some of the tips and hints I wanted to share with you. And I hope that they'll be helpful. Of course, I have just half an hour, so I don't have much time. But of course, we can talk in private later. We can also go deeper with some concepts. Anyway, I'm in the booth K30, so we can also have a meeting there. That's no problem. And I hope you like what I said. I hope it will be interesting. Maybe most of you are already experts. You know most of that kind of things, but anyway, I hope some of them was helpful for you. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Thank you so much for a very informative session.
Yeah.
So I just want to know one thing that, like when you use a recycled fiber for producing a circular denim, what kind of processing-related cautions one should have, like to get a better feel of the fabric and stuff?
Yeah, recycled fiber, we know that have a shorter fiber, so normally need special care. They're one of the fabric I think they need special care because, let's say, the conventional way to do stone bleach, for instance, is too aggressive for this kind of fabric, may lead to issues. So it's important to reduce the timing of the process a lot. And there are products and processes, like chemical products as well, they are speeding the reaction in order to get in shorter time. It increases productivity, but also let the fabric to have a shorter stress and less stress. This could be also one of the things we can do. You asked for hand fill as well?
Yeah, hand fill as well.
And I'll say, one of the techniques I said, could be interesting also because if you're able to reduce the process, also doing some rubber balls, most of the time that kind of fabric doesn't have big issue of hand fill, frankly speaking. They're quite soft in general, but it's that. Also recycled fabric depends on kind of fabrics. Most of the time are more suitable for dark shade than light shade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because light shade sometimes having recycled, having something indigo in the warp, and it's difficult to get it. So, but I think rubber ball may be also a nice solution for that. I mean, to get it more soft. I think it could be one.
Because just to increase the the kind of adaptation from the brand end, to increase the aesthetic of the fabric, so this kind of techniques would definitely help. Yeah.
Then it depends also if you can do some extra step with manual operation. There are some products that you can apply at the end by spray to do a final touch that gives a little bit more glossy. It gives also more soft. You can apply by spray. It depends if can be included in the cost. And if it's below the price, the brand is asking. But application by spray at the end is also something you can do. There are many products you can apply and give rich look, deep and rich looks. This is something is easy to achieve with some products.
Yeah, thank you.
I cannot mention too many products because here I have to be neutral as much as possible, but there are.
Yeah. The one more thing which I would like to just put it across is that in this cellulosic fiber grade, like apart from cotton, if you think of using a lyocell for the denim application, so what are the processing related
Losing,
cautions?
sorry?
The lyocell fiber, like the XL or like Tencel.
Okay. Yes, first of all, there are some lycra protector as well that you can apply just before the most aggressive steps of your wash. Okay. And these also are protecting the fiber. They're just making the fibers more rigid in this moment, so there is not too much stress during the wash, so they will resist in that step. So then when you wash again, the elasticity will be recovered and you don't have this kind of issue. This is something very important. Also, try to apply processes that are not letting penetrate too much the aggressive chemical to the core of the fiber, where normally lyocell, lycra are present, so they are in the core of the fiber. So avoid to let chemicals to go much on deep. Okay. There are some products that they may delay these kind of things. There are some procedures to do that. I mean, there are chemicals that help.
Thank you. I'll connect with you to get more insights.
Yeah,
thank you.
in fact, that's what I meant at the end.
Thank you.
Thank you for your...